Hi, guys. I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on everything early childhood related. And if these are the kind of videos you're looking for, what you have to do is subscribe. And not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. Today, I'm going to be going through some early childhood interview questions with answers. Yes, I know it's summer season. This is the time that most people apply for jobs in relation to early childhood education. We have some emergent early childhood educators straight out of college while they are applying for jobs. And then we have some educators already thinking of changing their job positions, maybe due to location or due to the further experience that they're looking for, maybe due to progression in their career. So I thought to go through some early childhood interview questions that you're likely to be asked. This season is a very unique season. It's a season that a lot of people are applying for jobs. And one thing is you need to stand out. You need to understand that it's a survivor of the fittest. You're not the only one competing for this job. There might be two jobs and we have 10 people that applied for this job. So what does that mean? The implication is that they are going to select the best two. So how are you going to ensure that you're one of the best two that they're selected for this job position? So that's why I'm doing this video. Go through some questions you're likely to be asked if you're going for an early childhood teacher job interview. On this channel, I've done a series of videos in relation to questions you're likely to be asked if you're attending for an interview as an early childhood educator. I'm going to leave the link down below so you can check up this video as well to keep you up to date. So now let's talk about some of those questions that you're likely to be asked. In the interview, you're going to be asked to talk about the experience that you have in relation to working with young children. Yes, this is a question that you're going to be asked. It's not that you're likely to be asked. They're going to ask you this question. They want to know the experience that you have. What are you bringing to this job? So it's really important you state your experience. So I'm going to tell you some of the experience that you can talk about. So if you've done nanny job in the past, please do state this. This is important. If you've done babysitting, if you do state this, this is important. So if you've done voluntary work as well with children, state this as well. It's really important. Don't just think that, well, I'm just going to state only the experience that has to do with working in a preschool setting. No. Other experience count as well. If you engage in voluntary work, babysitting, nanny, all of these are experiences as well that relates to working with young children. And it's really important in relation to stating your experience as well. State the age group that you work with. This is important. Don't just say, well, I've done voluntary work. Voluntary work with which age category? Is it from birth to 3? Is it from 3 to 6? I've done nanny job. I've done babysitting for a family. What is the age group of the children that you looked after? This is important as well. You need to state this, not just stating the experience. Say, yes, I've been a babysitter, I've been a childminder, I've done voluntary work, I've worked in a preschool setting. State the age group of the children that you work with. You need to understand that early childhood is broad. In the Irish context, we're talking about children from birth to 6. So you need to specify in relation to your voluntary work, which group of children have you worked with? In relation to your babysitting job, in relation to your nanny job, which group of children have you worked with? This is important when you're stating your experience. You're going to be asked to state the characteristics of an early childhood educator. Yes, this is a question that you're going to be asked. They want to know, maybe you know the characteristics of an early childhood educator. Like I said, you're competing against others. So for them to give you the job as an early childhood educator, they want to know, maybe you know the characteristics that entails to being an early childhood educator. So in relation to answering this question, you'll be talking about patience, which is really important. If you're stating your answer, ensure that you include patience because it's really important. If you're working with young children, you need to have patience. I'm telling you, you know young children, you tell them to do something, they still not done it. You have to be repeating yourself many times. So this comes with being patient as well. When you're stating the characteristics of an early childhood educator, please do not leave patience. You're going to talk about empathy as well, the ability to be able to put yourself in the children's shoes, the parents' shoes, your co-worker. So you're talking about empathy as well. You're talking about non-judgmental approach, that you're not going to be judgmental no matter what you've had about the parent, you have a child. You're not going to have that preconception when you're dealing with a child. So you have to talk about non-judgmental approach as well, empathy, patience, being kind, good listening skills. It's important. Your ability to be able to listen listen to the children, to be able to listen to the parent, to be able to listen to your co-worker. Communication skills as well, both written and oral. This is important because as an early childhood educator, you're going to be writing report a lot. And your communication skills have to be A game. This is important because you're going to be writing daily report about the children and they want to know. So it's important when you're stating the characteristics. So please do talk about communication skills, not just written skills as well. Talk about verbal communication skills and non-verbal communication skills, your ability to be able to read the children's posture, facial expression. If a child comes in the morning to preschool, frowning their face, definitely you know something is wrong somewhere. You're not just going to ignore the child, able to investigate further to see what is actually wrong with the child. So it's important when you're stating the characteristics of an early childhood educator, please do state this. You're likely to be asked is how would you help young children to transition from one activity to another? Yes, this is important. Transition is really important in early childhood. Children are going to be moving from one activity to another. So you might be asked this question, how would you help the children to transition from one activity to another? So here you're going to be talking about maybe in songs, tidy up songs. Maybe clean up, everybody do your share. Clean up, everybody do your share. So you're introducing songs to encourage children to transition from one activity to another. So you could also talk about timer as well. So your minute or 10 minutes to the children transitioning to another activity, you're going to tell them, boys and girls, with 10 minutes more now, and then you introduce the timer. So when you introduce the timer, so the children already know that it's 5 minutes they have left, it's 5 minutes to another activity. Timer. So reminder as well, you're reminding the children, boys and girls, with 5 more minutes left, with 10 more minutes left. This is important in relation to the children transitioning from one activity to another. You're not just going, yes, boys and girls, that's it now, we're done with the activity, we're moving on to the next activity. It doesn't work that way. Imagine yourself as an early childhood educator or an emergent early childhood educator. You're watching your favorite show and somebody just comes into the room, take the remote and flip it to another channel. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel bad. You're going to be like, you didn't even seek my consent. You just changed the TV channel. The same thing with the children as well. When they are transitioning to another activity, they need to be well informed. They need to know it's 5 more minutes for them to move on to another activity. It's 10 more minutes for them to move on to another activity. And while you're doing this, you do this in a fun way. You do it in a way that is so fun. Like I said, introducing songs. The children love songs. Introduce clean up songs, tidy up songs. They engage in the process with you as well. So these are just some of the ways you could answer the question of how would you help the children to transition from one activity to another. Do take note of these questions. Go through the questions. I know that preparing for a preschool teacher job interview can be daunting. I understand. I've been there myself. So that's why I thought to do this video so that you can go through these questions that you're likely to be asked. And one thing of the interview, if you're being successful, please leave the comment below that you're successful and we can rejoice with you. From my previous videos, I've seen people being successful, getting a job, and then they leave a comment that as a result of watching my video, they got the job. So I also want you to do the same as well. If as a result of watching this video, you went for the interview and you're being successful, please leave this in the comment below so that we can be able to celebrate with you. And do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Subscription is free. And until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.